Why are vaccines created? Because the disease they are because the diseases that they are preventing lead to disease and death. No different COVID. That same thing is true here. How do vaccines work? Vaccines contain a weakened or an inactive fragment of a particular organism, which we call which we call an antigen. It triggers an immune response in your body, and you've all seen this. And as a response to the actual organism, your body builds up antibodies. And so, when your body encounters the real antigen, the real antigen, the real virus from the real organism, you already know your body knows how to defeat it, and then therefore preventing, hopefully, from you getting disease and death. That is the quick and sort of brief version of how vaccines work and how they work in your body. Welcome to those who have joined us. So, so people always ask, what about side effects, Dr. Gardner? Vaccines have side effects. Let me just say everything has side effects, right? So, Benadryl is really an antihistamine that you're supposed to be using for allergies, but no one seems to terribly mind the side effect of making you sleepy, unless it's in the middle of the day, right? So Benadryl is not meant to make you sleepy. It's a side effect of the medication that we seem to be okay with, right? And so everything has some side effects, and we always weigh risk versus benefit. But most of the side effects that are associated with vaccines are really about your body doing the work it's supposed to be doing. It's a sign that your body is starting to build protection against the disease. And some of those, as you've seen, and you can definitely read these, you can Google this. They're mild fever. People have pain at the injection site, chills, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and things like that. Feigning had occurred, although much less common. And let me say this, some people's fears were none of the above. I found out that some men that I knew, they were afraid of needles. I mean, that it really came down to needles. They just didn't want to have a needle. Like they didn't want that. And so people have various reasons, and they're real to them, and they're valued and matter. And I can say with great certainty, and those who have gotten the vaccine will tell you, that's got to be the best needle ever, because it really does not hurt at all. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it doesn't really hurt. Matter of fact, most people have said, "Oh, you're done yet? You're done? You did it already?" I'm not sure why, but it really doesn't hurt. The pain to the injection site comes a day later or so, or later that day. So the vaccine was. So I always get that the vaccine was rushed. Yes, it was, right? It was fast, but I wouldn't say rush. Rush implies sloppily or hastily made. None was true. That is furthest from the truth. Dr. Kizmikia Corbett had been hired by NIH in 2014 to actually come up with a coronavirus vaccine after MERS and SARS. MERS had happened in the Mediterranean, and SARS had happened in China. So they were pretty sure, as Obama has said many, many times, that he was pretty sure that there would be another pandemic. So because he was sure that there'd be another pandemic, they had put resources into that. They had created a 69-page blueprint on what you should do. And then they hired people to create vaccines. So this was not rushed or fast or in a year or none of that propaganda. This woman started creating a vaccine in 2014. Variants are not created in vaccinated people. Okay. Variants, in order for a virus to mutate and create a variant, it needs an unvaccinated host. So as long as we have unvaccinated people, we will continue to have variants. Okay. And what happens is that viruses are smart. And what happens is that they learn how to adapt. So what has happened is with the Delta variant is a little bit different. So the protection, even for the vaccinated, is not as great as some of the other variants that have occurred prior to it. In addition to it, it is way more transmittable. It is the disease is more severe, and there is death. So the severity of disease and death is way more severe. So that's why you're hearing people talk about it, which is why they're really, really pushing, because we cannot afford to go through the Greek alphabet. We cannot afford to be at epsilon and then, at gamma and iota and go through the Greek alphabet of variants, right? We need to really try to minimize this. And that's what happens with variants. This is not in isolation. A virus is a parasite, and it's not like, in essence, it needs a host. It has to have a place to live, which is why you notice that we stopped talking about you getting that COVID from surfaces, right? You don't really hear anybody talking about that as much anymore. We just want you to clean or whatever, but it doesn't really last that long in a surface, like 48 hours or something like that. It's like it's not long at all. You know what I mean? That was like when the beginning we didn't really know, so we were being erring on the side of caution. But we found that people aren't getting like that. They're getting it from person to person, right? So the virus needs an actual person. A surface it really can't live on that long. It can. It's not a bed bug. Like, bed bugs can like live forever dormant and they're like zombies. This is not that. You know what I mean? So this is they absolutely need a host. So it's so important to me. This is the most important thing that unvaccinated people need to understand, that you continue to be a host. And as long as you are a host, we will continue to have this problem with variants. It is still safe to take the vaccine. I took it when we were unclear of whether it was safe, right? Because I had faith, right, to take the steps even when I couldn't see the whole staircase.